Anna is discerning, celebration, and rewarding of uniqueness, usefulness, difference, and excellence. You need to discern, you need to celebrate, you need to reward the uniqueness, usefulness, differences, and excellence of men and people. It's not a gift. In case you think that Anna is a gift, it's not. It's a virtue that needs to be cultivated through knowledge and understanding. It is an essential part of your being. A man can honor if he is honorable. Honor is a revelation of your character, and your character reveals your life's process and training. Those who cannot honor are simply displaying a defect in their training. They lack quality training from the house. They lack quality biblical training if they cannot honor. It means that there is a defect in their life's training. A well-trained person does not struggle to honor. And please, honor goes beyond the physical. Yes, we'll come to that. But honor is a disposition of the heart. It is a law of the spirit, and it is also a disposition of your heart. It is the disposition of your heart that will reflect in your attitude. It is the disposition of your heart that will reflect in your utterances. It is the disposition of your heart towards a man, towards a system, that will reflect in your attitude, how you speak, your thoughts. Because sometimes it's not even in your utterances, but what you think. Honor in the heart of man is the disposition, the positioning of your heart. How is our heart position? I told you last Tuesday that we do not see many and notable power and miracles in the church because of honor problem. Because where there is dishonor, it secures the flow of power and oil on the graces of God. Jesus went into his hometown in Matthew 13. He could not do miracles, mighty deeds, except the laying of his hands and healing of few sicknesses. Why? He could not, because the people had dishonored him. If you see any man that works in dishonor, such a man is like an insulator. If you see a man that works in honor, such a man is a conductor. And if you understand very well, a conductor aids the flow of current, but an insulator stops the flow of current. Jesus could not do, even though he wanted to. We are not able to build quality and strong relationship in our days because of this honor. Great relationships flourish when honor is given where it is due. No honor, no great relationship. Honor is important in all relationships, but honor is critical in certain relationships. If you are relationship deficient, as you know, point blank, you lack honor. Because no man rejects honor. No man rejects honor in this world. It is even the craving of spirit, both divine and demonic. None of them, all of them demands honor. And that is why when we're growing up in our settings, in our villages, in our communities, when you meet people and you meet spirit beings that have disguised themselves, you dishonor them, they punish you. Because soon honor. That's why God said, if I be a father, where is my honor? One thing that God was craving for from his people is honor. Every spirit demands honor. It does not matter how evil a spirit is, in your encounter with that spirit, unless you dishonor that spirit, it will not, or he will not, or she will not have the power to afflict you. That spirit will have the power to afflict you when dishonor comes in. And that's why the book of Exodus says, revile not the gods. In other words, don't dishonor the powers. Don't dishonor the divine ones. Don't dishonor the gods. Don't go about and dishonoring them, thinking because you are born again, because Christ lives in you, you go about dishonoring everybody. No, sir, no, ma. The positioning of the heart of a believer is to honor at all times. No contradiction, no argument. Jesus could not do miracles. No, he didn't want to. Not he didn't have the power. He could not, because their dishonor has short-circuited his flow of grace and power into their lives. Brother, honor is faith and love in action. Honor is faith. That's why we said where there is dishonor, it short-circuits the flow of power, because it is a lack of faith. Dishonor actually is a lack of faith in an institution, in a person, in a man, in an office. It is a lack of faith. So Jesus had thought went, and they were saying, we know where because of familiarity, they ended up dishonoring one of the greatest people that has ever lived on earth. In his own house, he could not, because they could not discern his uniqueness. They could not learn to celebrate him as others were celebrated. They were making references to how they know him, how familiar they are, and so it cut off their flow of faith. Honor is faith in action. Honor is love in action. When you love a person, you do not see their mistakes. Bible says that love covers a multitude of sins. Where you love a person, you do not see their flaws. Where you love a person, you do not see their deficiency in character and morality. You just hold them in high esteem. They are like your God, they are like your idol. them. And that's why even in the world, in the language of men, we are people that we claim, we said, this is my idol. In other words, I idolize the person. Yes, him has mistakes. Yes, he has mistakes. Yes, they have flaws. They have their own challenges. They have marital challenges. They have moral challenges. They have character challenges. Yet he is my idol. Yes, she is my idol. I put him or her at a place that nobody can be able to get to. In my heart, I've lifted the person. Cristiano Ronaldo is my idol. Lionel Messi is my idol. Sarkodia is my idol. Shatawale is my idol. It means in your heart you have raised that man that no other man can get to that level. It doesn't mean that Cristiano Ronaldo does not have his challenges. They have their shortfalls. They have their challenges. They have their weaknesses. But because of my love and my honor and my faith in him, I choose not to see their deficiency. I choose not to see their weakness. All that I know is that I hold them high esteem. It is only when we want to dishonor that we get reasons to attribute. Honor must come back to the church. The nonsense in the Christian and in the body of Christ is too much. Honor must be restored. God is calling upon all of us that we need to restore the virtue of honor. And that is why it seems his power is limited, because we have dishonored everybody, including even the ones he has sanctified. When we have dishonored and even dishonored God himself, his systems and his institutions. You cannot claim to honor a man and be offended in that man. Never. When you honor a person, I'm telling you, you will not even see what they do against you to be offended. That you are offended in a man, it simply means that you lack honor for such a man. Maduli kabahasha. And that's why we are in the churches. It's not because our pastors are not anointed. It's not because they have not encountered God. Brother, you read of Moses that said, Lord, I want to see you. And the Lord said, you will see my back. And you read it and you believe it. I'm telling you, the young man standing here, I've seen God before. He showed him his back, just like he did to Moses. But you believe and honor Moses. You will never believe me. Why? I live with you. I eat with you. I dance with you. I sleep with you. I talk with you. And so you know me. You are familiar, but you do not know Moses. So you believe Moses' account. But I've seen the Lord. I've seen. They were offended. And Jesus said, I know. It's not your problem. It's dishonor in your heart. If you really honored me, you will never be offended in me. Now, pastors cannot even instruct their own people, because you instruct them, they are offended. It should tell you the level of honor in their hearts when it comes to their relationship with their man of God. Jesus said, you people, you honor me with your lips, but your hearts are far from me. When the heart is positioned right, certain actions can never happen. When the heart is positioned right, certain actions can never happen.